Have you been looking for a good budget option for the Aputure 120D Mark II? Have you been looking to get that YouTube look? Well, today I'm going to talk to you about the Godox VL200, and I'm going to tell you why I think it's a great budget alternative to the Aputure 120D Mark II. And that video is coming up next. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Brian, the camera guy. On my channel, I review Sony cameras and accessories that help make that video process even easier. If that's something you're into, consider clicking that subscribe button and that bell notification so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Today, I have a brand new light that I've been using now for about a month, and it's the Godox VL200. This light is an LED light that is a comparable light to the Aputure 120D Mark II. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this light. This light is a 200 watt LED video light. It's got a color accuracy rated at CRI 96 and a TLCI of 95. So you know this light is going to be super accurate if you know anything about those color ratings. Now I'm currently filming with this light, and I can tell you it is a great light source. And I can tell you that this light does a very nice job of putting some really pleasing light onto your skin. I do have a budget softbox, which I'll also link below. And this thing is a beauty dish, so it helps even soften the light a little bit more. Now, just like a lot of the other LED lights, this thing comes in at a 5600 Kelvin on the lighting scale. I can tell you that I currently have my camera set at 4900 Kelvin. I'm not sure why, but I always seem to get a little bit of a color tint coming off my Sony a6400. I think it's more the a6400 than it is the actual light source itself. Now this light does have a huge control box. I do want to forewarn you about that. This control box is really big, but it does a great job. You can go all the way from 0 to 100, and actually the fan for the light doesn't even kick on until you get to about 50% power. Right now I do have it at a 30% power, and as you can see, it's doing a very nice job on my skin tones. I have my Sony a6400 set at an f2 with the base ISO at 100. And of course I'm using the HLG2 profile, as that seems to be the best profile for this camera. So now that control box does accept 2 V-mount batteries. I usually use it with the AC adapter, and I find that it works very well. It's got a really nice adjustable yoke, so you can put this thing onto any sort of C-stand, so you can adjust this light to any angle that you want to move it to. The nice thing about the Godox VL series is it does come with a very handy carrying case. None of their other lights come with this type of carrying case. Nice little add-in here, so you're able to pack up your stuff and store it away without having any problems. And I love how everything fits just right. You don't have to like really jam things back in there. I have a couple other light solutions that sometimes you really got to jam in those cords. Everything is very nicely spaced, and you're able to fit everything perfectly into the bag. Talking about the build quality of this light, I think it's really good. It's made of metal. When you look inside of the chassis, the body, however you want to call it, there are some copper tubing in there, so you know it's definitely going to be able to dissipate the heat very well. Like I said, the fan doesn't even kick on until you get over 50%, and it's very, very silent. I can tell you that I've been very impressed with the lighting source coming out of it. Just make sure that you always want a white balance to whatever light. So don't just take that 5600 Kelvin. Like I said, I am recording at 4900 Kelvin, and that's because I did do proper white balance. If you're not 100% sure how to properly white balance, stick around to the end of the video, and I'll go ahead and I'll leave a video for you to check out after this on how to properly white balance any light. Now this is a video-centric light, so it's going to give you consistent lighting, consistent power, and I do love that. But I have been starting to use it for all my B-roll. So all the B-roll that you saw in my very last video about the Fanatec AK2000S was shot using this light, and I thought the image came out very nice for all that B-roll. I also took that thumbnail using this light. I'm not a big strobe guy or a flash guy. I never have been. So when I'm doing photo, I like to have consistent light. I like to see exactly what the light's gonna do to my subject before I ever take the photo. Using this Godox VL200 has definitely helped me out in that process. I thought I did a great job with that thumbnail of properly exposing and really bringing out the tones of that Fanatec AK2000S. And I think that might be one of the best thumbnails as far as clarity that I've ever produced. So you can also use this light for photography. As you can see, I got a backdrop behind me. Even if you had a model sitting here and you didn't have a strobe or a flash, you can use that consistent light and really try and shape that light to however you want. so that you can get a perfect portrait for anybody that sits in front of the camera. Now I can tell you I am using a beauty dish on this light. I highly recommend that. I'll go ahead and I'll leave links to this beauty dish down below. I ended up going with the Glow 34-inch softbox, and I think it's done a great job. It really has some nice diffusion. I have the grid on it right now to really kind of control that light and really focus it in just on my face versus having that light spill everywhere. But even without the grid, I think it does a great job of really channeling the light. Now the softbox is shallow. It's not a really long, wide one. It's a little bit more shallow. It really has great diameter, so I think it does a fantastic job of really softening the light onto my face. Now, if you're interested in any of these products, of course, I'm going to link them down in the description below. But do me a favor, on your way down there, make sure you hit that like button if you're getting value out of this video. Now, let's talk about a couple other accessories that you're going to need if you get a light like the Godox VL200. You're definitely going to need to pick up a C-stand because, of course, this light does not come with a C-stand. I'll leave a couple budget options down below, but what I did is I went with the newer heavy duty model. I'll be honest with you, this thing is built like a tank. I mean, it's literally like an assault C-stand. I mean, if you hit somebody with this thing, they would know they got hit by a C-stand. I can tell you that this thing is definitely heavy duty. You could probably drop this thing. It's not even gonna dent. I mean, it's solidly built. It's heavy. It's got good construction. But with any C-stand or with anything that you're rigging up that has the potential of tipping over, you always want to use sandbags. Pick up some sandbags. You're gonna have to get some sand, load that up, and you're gonna give yourself a very secure rig and that your light's not gonna tip over because you're gonna be spending a good chunk of money on this thing. You don't want it to tip over and break on your very first use. I don't have just the Godox VL200 lighting me up. Over my shoulder here, I do have the Aputure M20. That is a color changing light that goes all the way from 3000 Kelvin all the way up to 7000 Kelvin. So you can modify that light. If you want me to do a review on those satellites, I do have the Aputure M20c, and then I have two of the Aputure 20Ds. So if you want to see a review on that kit, make sure you leave a comment down below letting me know that you want to see that video. Otherwise, what do you think of this light? How does it look? Is it pretty pleasing? Does it have good roll off? Maybe do I have the power too bright? Am I seeing too much of a bounce? Definitely leave me comments down below because I would like to get your feedback on how the image looks and if you think it's definitely an improvement from previous videos. So in conclusion, I've been very happy with this light. I think it puts off great light. I think it does a great job. It's super color accurate, so I don't have to worry about the light changing color mid-scene. But I'm curious to see what you think. What do you think is the best budget alternative to the Aputure 120D Mark II? Go ahead, leave a comment down below. I'd love to have a conversation with you. If you like this video, I'm sure you're gonna like the video on the screen now, which is how to properly white balance any camera. Make sure you click on that video and I'll see you on that video. Before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Brian out.